what's up? Pastor Richie here. I am the lead pastor at Movement Church in Tipp City, Ohio, and I'm here with
Ethan Smith. Throw my last name in there for you. I am the media director.
Yes, you are.
I am.
And we are so glad to have you as a part of the Movement Church. And this is your... Come on, man. What is this?
It's your morning momentum.
The morning momentum.
Friday
it is Friday
edition.
morning. Woo!
I'm excited.
Yes, Friday. You know what that means for me?
What does that mean?
That means 2 more days till Sunday.
Is it okay? Here's something that always gets me, right?
All right, let's
Is
get
it 2 days? Or like it always throws
this
me
is
like
it's 7 a.m. So technically we are over 48 hours away from church.
Yes, that's true. But to me, it's always like it'd be like Saturday.
We are 51 hours
Sunday.
and 45 minutes away from church starting. The countdown begins
2 days.
now.
2 days.
2 days.
O.
H.
I-O. Yes, it's Friday. The week is over. Well, actually, not yet.
Not yet for you.
It's because it's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. and you got to go to work.
But I mean, mentally, the week's over.
You know you're not going to do much work today.
You're ready for the day to be over.
I'm ready for the day to be over. It's 7 a.m. It is chilly this morning. Yeah, it's cold this morning.
It is very cold.
Get out here at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Friday is rough sometimes, but we're doing it for you.
Things we do.
Yeah.
And I got to go to class.
And, yeah, Ethan's got school. You know, I'm probably going to watch some TV this week. I saw on social media this week, we had a post out there that asked you, what TV show are you binging right now? And
Last week.
Yeah, and so Ethan, share with us, man. We got to know, what are you watching right now? What is good on TV?
Well, if I'm being honest, I haven't been binge watching anything because I don't know if I have had the time. You know? I'm
there with you.
I'll tell you the last thing I probably binge watched was Squid Games when it came out. And that was a while ago. Because this hype was so big that I was like, I guess I have to watch it, right? And it was good. But I mean, like, you know.
Confession, I never watched it.
I mean, that's fair.
Never watched it. The last thing I binge watched is The Office. Like, if I get going on The Office, I can't stop.
Does it ever stop?
It never stops. And it's funny because, like, I've been through it now, like, 6 or 7 times. And it's crazy because every time you watch it, you learn something new. You see something new. And it's like, why did I never see that before? Like, it's the craziest thing.
Yeah, the more I watched it, I thought the later seasons got more funny. It's because I used to, like once Michael left,
yeah,
I was like, this sucks. But the more I watched it, I was like, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. I agree with you.
I think there's probably going to be some people out there that are annoyed that we're talking about The Office.
Probably, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's okay. You can be annoyed for a minute. But I want to ask you guys that question, all of our listeners here. Tell us what you've been binge watching. What is it that you've been watching on TV? I'm looking for something new. All of my shows have stopped for some reason. Maybe they'll start back up here in a couple weeks, but I'm looking for something. So give me a shout out. Let me know what it is that you are watching right now. But man, it is a good day here for us because right now, as we sit, this past Sunday, we had youth worship. We get ready for this week, and it's kind of this in-between Sunday of going from youth worship, which was incredible. We had teens all over the stinking place, leading worship and running cameras and all these different things. It was really cool to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was a little worrisome at first, but, you know, it worked out, and it was really good.
Yeah, the one kid that was picking his nose and wiping it on the camera, it's like, come on, man. But it happens.
That was his son.
Yeah, it probably was. But, yeah, I mean, he learns it from Ethan, though. Don't ever look at the back of Ethan's guitar. Just kidding. But last week, Ethan, you made a promise to our listeners.
What was my promise?
Your promise to our listeners was that you were going to add a little bit to your morning song each week.
Here's my fear, is because I don't really know how copyright works. And I don't really know about singing songs and playing music. Also, I don't really know any more lyrics. How about you karaoke real quick for us?
What would you like me to sing?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You know what my favorite song used to be as a kid?
Sing it for me.
Under the Boardwalk.
Sing
Under
it.
the boardwalk.
Bump.
Come on.
Boardwalk.
Boardwalk. Yeah, I like that song. So that was where it was at. I used to like that version.
When were you born?
It doesn't matter. That song has always been epic.
Timeless. It is a good song.
It is. It still is. So, and that might be being sung at church sometime. Nah, just kidding.
Probably not.
But man, it's good. So Ethan, tell the listeners, what are you up to today in school? You know, we've talked about you being in class, and people have seen you at the church and doing some different things. But what are you actually doing at school?
Well, today at school, I think last time I talked a little bit about some of the stuff that my major is, but today I have a GIS class, and so it's 3D modeling. So we're working with drones and different things like that. So it's pretty cool to kind of, we started out with taking things around our house and using our phones and taking pictures and making 3D models. So that was really cool. And then I have a film history class, which I'm in, and we're talking really about like the early 30s studio era type of the film industry. And so that's interesting to look at kind of what's changed over time and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I got going on today. And then I'm done for the week.
That's nice.
I know.
You think you're going to have homework after that class?
Probably, but I don't know if I'm going to do it. We have like these books, right? So we had to buy 4 books.
The book, okay. If you're listening right now and you've done the college thing or at least a little bit of it, you know the book thing is a scam.
It is a scam.
The amount of money you pay for college books, and the ones that are the most expensive are the ones that are written by the professor whose class you are taking, and the only place you can find it is in their bookstore.
I hate when you have to, when they're just one, they make money from the students.
Yes.
But I get my books for like $5. I buy them off cheap sites, which works. I mean, they always work out. I've never had any problems with that. But yeah.
Dude, check this out. So, no kidding. Like, I had a class at Nazarene Bible College that I took, and it was one of our big writing classes, one of our big paper classes, and we had a book that we had to buy, and it was constantly modified, all right? And when it came in the mail, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
It was stapled together. You want to know what it cost?
$200.
No. Luckily, it was not
high?
that. It was $75 for
way too
18 pages of paper and a staple.
18 pages of paper?
18 pages of paper and
it
a
was
staple.
Like a packet?
It was a packet. And you couldn't sell it back to the school because it was just paper. It wasn't a book. They were like, we don't buy these.
That's awful.
Isn't that terrible?
That's brutal.
Yeah. So, anyways, off that topic, we really like these Friday episodes because we want you to know that we know that you've done it. Like this week, this is awesome. Like you made it through the week.
You made it. You did it.
It might have been a crazy week. You know, you might have pulled an Elijah halfway through and said, "Lord, I'm done." But the Lord said, "I'm going to feed you and get you through this week," and you made it. Only a couple more hours left. What do you think about that?
I'm excited for all of you. I'm excited for myself.
Yes.
That I have a couple more hours till I'm done.
Yes. Oh, I love it. You know, it has been snowing here in Tipp City, Ohio. I don't know if it's been snowing where you live or not, but our ground has been covered in snow lately, and it's been pretty nice, though. Like, you know, I don't like the cold weather, but I don't mind going outside and seeing the snow.
It's like while it's actively snowing, it's like this is nice, and you can sit inside and it feels nice. Mm-hmm. But then when you have to go out and then the roads get slushy and then everything gets dirty, it's like this sucks.
That is true,
especially because I don't really play in the snow anymore.
Don't?
Well, I guess I might since I'm 12.
If you missed this last week, we got done with our podcast and we received multiple messages from listeners asking, why does Ethan sound like a 12-year-old?
I couldn't tell you. I addressed it on Monday. I don't know.
The reality of it is that he's 13, and sometimes it just happens.
It's crazy.
He's a 13-year-old in college.
Get
How
it
cool is
right.
that? Yeah, dude,
I am a teen, not a tween.
Dude, I'm excited about Sunday morning here. Mm-hmm. So check this out. We are going to be introducing a new song.
What is it?
It's called Great Things. It's by Phil Wickham's. All right?
Karaoke that.
Dude, I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Me neither.
I can't. But the song is so legit. Like, I love it. Our worship team is killing worship sets.
Our worship team is amazing.
And you're a part of that worship team.
I am a part of that worship team.
So Ethan plays acoustic guitar, if you didn't know that, for us. And what's your favorite part about playing guitar?
Oh, I think my favorite part, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
Because it's all good. I really enjoy playing guitar. Even when, like, it depends on the setting, I guess, and the scenario, but, like, even when it might not go well in this setting, it still goes well because we're actively worshiping.
Absolutely.
But, like, maybe in another setting where I'm playing in front of people and I mess up, that might not be so fun.
Yeah.
But being able to play the guitar is still fun to the ability. So I'm not sure there's really any bad things about it.
No, and you're self-taught, right?
Well, YouTube.
YouTube taught?
Helped me out. Marty Schwartz, if any of you know who that is, he got me started, and I kind of went through songs and looked up chords and kind of learned chords based on different songs and slowly learned from there.
Would you do me a favor? Would you talk to our listeners just for a minute? Because there's a lot of people right now that are interested in learning instruments, taking that first step. What would you suggest to somebody that's sitting there at home that says, hey, I don't have the finances to go out and pay for guitar lessons, or I don't have the time to give 2 hours a week to a lesson, or whatever it might be? What would be your thing that you would have to say to them? How could they get going?
Well, I'd say if you can get your instrument and learn a really basic song to kind of get that under your belt and think, okay, like my first song was Sweet Caroline.
Okay.
It's like 3 basic chords. And so I learned that, and I was like, okay, I kind of get this, and I'm feeling it. And so that kind of gets you rolling and kind of work into more songs, get more complex chords or things that depends on the instrument you're playing. But it's really getting that first basic song down. And what's difficult is when you're playing an instrument is you have to start really slow. And a lot of people just want to be amazing really fast. But it's kind of about the long term versus getting it done and knowing how to play an instrument. So that part is hard. But if you have...
Wait, can I say something real quick about that?
Go for it.
Dude, that is just like a relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, so many times we get discouraged because it's like we accepted Christ in our lives and Christ is a part of things, but it's like we're not at the level of everybody else. Mm-hmm. And so we get discouraged really quick because it's like we should be there.
Yeah.
But it takes time to learn, to grow, and to mature. Same as the guitar, right?
Yeah, that is a fantastic connection.
Thank you.
That's really good.
Thank you, Ethan. I appreciate it.
That wasn't planned, by the way.
It wasn't.
I'm taken aback a little bit. That's a good connection.
Thanks, man.
But yeah, it's all about practice and kind of working your way up there. But yeah, like when I started, it was like I just want to be good, and maybe because I'm not good enough yet, maybe I never will be, kind of thing. And that does connect when you start seeing people around you and think, wow, they're so like spiritual, or they have such a good relationship, and I don't feel that way right now. How could I ever get there? That's good.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we even feel like inferior, so like we're threatened by it, so we're not willing to even be honest and truthful about things, because it's like, oh man, like, and so what ends up happening? You quit. You walk away. It's easier to be hidden and to be away from things than to put the energy forward and the effort forward, because it might get a little difficult, outside of your comfort zone a little bit. But I think that's awesome, man, and thank you for sharing that with our listeners, because I think that's one of the tough things right now is that it's hard to get into lessons. Sometimes they are very expensive, but there's a lot of people out there right now that are seeing things and saying, hey, I would really like to learn how to play guitar, or I would really like to learn how to play the ukulele or drums or keyboard or whatever it is. But I got one more thing that I'd like you to address, because this has been the thing. My daughter got into guitar, okay? And we bought her a guitar, and we got one it's a smaller guitar. It's like a junior guitar, so that it fits her hands. But what is your suggestion if somebody's going to play guitar? Because we're going to go there. That's what you play. What would be your suggestion as far as going out and buying one? Do they need to go out and buy one that's $500, $600, $700 right away? Or, is it okay to go ahead and buy a $200 guitar or a $50 guitar or something like that? What's your recommendation?
Well, I would recommend definitely go the cheap. Well, it's kind of hard because you don't want to go so cheap that what you're getting doesn't work.
Exactly.
But definitely don't go high end if you're beginning, because if you don't enjoy it, then you're not gonna. It's a bad purchase. But definitely start small. I've been fortunate enough to kind of get some different things given to me, like hand-me-downs. That's how I kind of started. I actually started playing guitar. The first guitar I got it was just in our closet. I don't remember how it got there, but I just grabbed it and kind of started learning on it, and it progressed from there to where I'm at today. But yeah, definitely start small and then work your way up. If you start getting more comfortable and really getting into it, then yeah.
Yeah.
When did she start playing guitar?
Oh, we bought her a guitar about a year ago. And so she did some like YouTube stuff. She used an app to do some things, but she kind of put that behind her a little bit, but now she's wanting to get back into it again. And so it's really cool. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, hey, I was thinking about something the other day.
I feel like this is going to lead into you asking me giving her guitar lessons.
It could eventually.
It just feels like it's going that way.
No.
I can if that.
I was going a different direction with this one. Do you remember about 3 years ago, you and I sat down and we talked through a book called Static Jedi?
I do remember that.
Do you remember that book?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so cool. And the reason why we went through that is we ended up seeing the author of that book at an event called Nazarene Youth Conference. We talked about it briefly last time. Mm-hmm. But he wrote this book called Static Jedi. And one of the parts on it, for some reason, it just kind of sparked my interest the other day. And I was thinking about this morning, Friday morning, and it talks about having coffee with Jesus. Do you remember that?
I remember that, yeah.
And it was super impactful. And tell the listeners a little bit about that, because what's the idea of having coffee with Jesus? Because you remember, like, it was kind of funny because you're reading it. He even says that he pours Jesus a cup of coffee.
Yeah, so he would pour coffee. He would do like his morning devotions, and he would pour a cup of coffee. And I think he even said he buttered a piece of toast for him. Mm-hmm. He would set him down across from him. He would do his devotions, and it's kind of a more physical aspect of actually being there with Jesus, or with God while you're doing your devotions. And so it's more intimate, I think, and you can get into it a little bit more and apply it to yourself more. And then he said after he would drink his coffee and eat his toast, because he said it may have been while he was praying or something. Every day he hoped or something that when he opened his eyes that bread would be gone or have a bite out of it or something like that. But yeah, I thought that concept, and I actually started doing it a little bit. But having that physical thing in front of you to really help have that deeper connection, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it really sparks it for you. And so we want to challenge you as a listener, even as we challenge ourselves in this time, is to have those intentional conversations with God. And I think too many times we get in this space where our conversations with God just seem to revolve around what it is that we want, what it is that we want to get out of life, what it is that we want to be able to happen without maybe not doing all the work for it. And I think that we lose sight a lot of times that we are in this to have an intentional relationship with Christ. And that means that not only do we need to talk, and we need to share, and we need to be honest, but we also have to be willing to receive what it is that the Lord has to speak to us.
Yeah.
And that happens in so many different ways. And so, when we talk about that, we talk about all these different things, I think the other part of it is, and I talk about this often, is that not only do we have to receive what the Lord has for us, but when you give and you receive, there's also a response to that. Mm-hmm. And so what's your response when the Lord speaks? How is it that you work and you move to do what it is that the Lord's calling you to do? And we've been in this scripture in 1 Kings chapter 19 with Elijah. And the Lord kind of spoke to him. And, we talked briefly about this on Monday, and the Lord speaks to him. He goes to a cave. He runs off to a cave, and the Lord's voice speaks and says, hey, the Lord is going to pass by in all of his goodness, and he's going to speak to you. And so he goes out to the cave's mouth, and all these things happen. An earthquake happens, and fire happens, and all this stuff takes place. All these loud things take place. Mm-hmm. But how was it that he finally spoke?
It was a whisper from the cave.
Just a simple whisper. And the Lord spoke, and Elijah's immediate response was to cover his eyes because he knew that he just could not see the glory, the almighty of what it is that God has to offer. And so he covers his eyes, shields his eyes, and he talks to the Lord. And he had an option because the Lord spoke. And he had two choices of a response. Either ignore it or to run with it. And he ran with it. And he did some pretty crazy things. And but it was pretty awesome to see how Elijah responded in that time.
Yeah. So
I think the big thing, Friday morning, you're getting ready for your last day of work, your last day of school for the week, and you're on your way in. I want to challenge you. What is it that the Lord is saying to you, and how is it that you can respond in this time? And if you're like, oh man, I'm not hearing from the Lord right now. I don't know. I don't have a clue what he's saying. I don't know how to listen to it. And then we go back to what we were just talking about. That's where it comes in so handy. Have some coffee with Jesus. If you're not a coffee drinker, have some orange juice with Jesus. And have that physical presence at the table to where it gives you that place where you can just have that conversation. Listen, if you've ever done plumbing, if you've ever done electric work, if you've ever played sports, you find yourself a lot of times talking to yourself.
Yeah.
If you can talk to yourself, you can talk to Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do, yeah. I talk to myself a lot.
Do you?
Not like, let's move on. I'm not like crazy.
I didn't say you were crazy.
I know, but it came off that way.
No.
I saw that look in your eyes.
No. I was actually thinking about my wife. She said something in the kitchen the other day, and I was like, what'd you say? She goes, nothing. I'm talking to myself. It's like, oh, okay. Hope it's a good conversation.
I mean, but yeah, if you can talk to yourself, then you can talk to God.
Yeah.
That's good.
100%. And so I think that's my challenge to us this weekend, is that how are we going to respond? You know, how do you respond today at work? Do you go in and not get anything done, avoid the boss, and just try to get out as fast and as quick as you can doing the least amount of work? Or do you go in and honor God with what it is that he's blessed you with and put forth an effort today and get through the day, get through the school day, and accomplish big things, feel good about it, and then conquer the weekend?
Yeah.
And, man, I'm excited, like I told you, for this weekend. And I hope you are, too.
For this weekend?
For this weekend.
I'm excited. I'm always excited for the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you doing this weekend?
Me? Oh, geez. We got baseball practice on Saturday. Always got baseball practice.
You have baseball practice?
Yeah, man. Indoor baseball practice. So we do hitting and fielding and pitching and catching practice and stuff. And so I'm helping to coach a team this year. Been a head coach for I don't know how many years, and it's nice to be the assistant for once. And
you don't have to do as much stuff.
I don't have to do as much stuff. So, but we got that, and then get ready for church. Probably get some lunch after church. I always enjoy doing that, and then get that nap in.
I've never enjoyed a nap.
Never?
That might be my unpopular opinion. I just can't nap.
Interesting.
We did the unpopular opinion thing last week. But,
Yeah.
I feel like it throws me off to where if I nap, then I won't be able to sleep as well later because I segmented some of my sleeping hours off earlier.
Oh, my God.
I don't know, man. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, and I don't know if we asked you to do this yet or not, listeners, but we would love to know what your unpopular opinion is. And if you have an unpopular opinion, we'd love for you to drop that in the comments or connect with us through Facebook or Instagram. Let us know what that is, and we would love to be able to talk about that on air next Friday as we come together.
That'd be fun.
For your morning momentum. Well, we know that you are going to conquer this day. You are going to do awesome today, and we're proud of you.
Very proud.
I'm like almost about to cry proud. You are crying proud.
I'm crying right now. No, I'm not crying. I'm just a really good actor. Yeah. But I do believe in you guys, and I believe that you have the strength to get through the day, and I really believe in you.
And then we'll go party tonight. Party.
Friday night. Yeah.
Jesus party. It's going to be a good night.
It's going to be a great night.
Great night. We have worship practice Friday night, so if you want to come worship with us.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
So tonight, you can come join us. So we love you. We are so happy for you today. It's Friday, and you get to go conquer the weekend here in just a few short hours. Enjoy your day, and we cannot wait to be back with you Monday morning for the morning momentum.
7 a.m. sharp.
7 sharp. And don't forget, you can go back and check out our podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Amazon Podcasts, Buzzsprout, YouTube, all over the place. And follow us on social media at The Movement 937. Can't wait to see you guys. Have a good one.
See you.